You seen the part about Puffy dad in the documentary?
Yeah, I seen that part about his dad. Man, listen here. Everybody trying to portray that Puff father was this big gangster. Puff father was a ladies' man. You understand what I'm saying? And this is told to me about gangsters who ran out there during this time. Puff father was a ladies' man. You understand? He was doing a little drug dealing, but he wasn't that big time drug dealer that he trying to portray that his father was. My man,
What's up? What's up? It's your boy Mike Geesh, and you know what it is. I'm back again. I'm just looking at this episode or this other part of the full interview of Gene Deal after the Diddy documentary, where on the Art of Dialogue, where Gene is speaking about Puffy's father. And because you know, if you saw the documentary in the beginning, you know, Puff dad was mentioned, and as a lot of people know, and a lot of people probably don't know, P. Diddy's dad died like before he was born, either before he was born or he was like maybe 2 years old or something like that, very young, where he don't really remember his dad. All right, let's keep going.
Freddie Myers called for a meeting with me and Omar. He was trying to get in touch with Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons want to have nothing to do with him. Freddie Myers told me Russell Simmons used to go pick up his laundry and his cleaning for him and everything because he was the one who started the record labels. You know, he was starting a record label, and Russell Simmons was working for his record label before he started Def Jam. This is coming from Freddie Myers. He said, I wanted to get into Puff to tell him the true story about his father. Right? You understand?
All right, so what Gene Deal is basically saying is that he got in touch with a gangster named Freddie Myers, who I guess knows something about Puff's daddy, his death, the true story about it. And he said that Russell Simmons was working for this gangster, bringing him his clothes or laundry or doing whatever he was doing. He was like Russell Simmons was this guy's errand boy before Def Jam, which is interesting. So all right, let's keep going.
His father, I guess he was being tested. I don't know what the situation was, but Freddie Myers told me he sold drugs to one of the undercovers that worked for them. They gave that undercover New York City police officer $10,000 for the tape. And to see the handwritten statement that father made against their crew. This is what Freddie Myers is saying to me. A real gangster that did all this time. So now, Freddie Myers.
Now, hold up now. In the beginning, you said Puff dad wasn't that big of a drug dealer, but now you're saying this big drug dealer had told you, this kingpin told you that Puff dad got caught selling to an undercover police officer. And now the kingpin, Freddie Myers, is paid the undercover cop $10,000 for Puff Dad's statement. That don't sound like a small time little drug dealer sitting on the streets. Because if you a kingpin and small time, what he got to know about you? But you know, I mean, snitch is a snitch. But you know, okay. I'm just saying. Sound like he was selling some drugs, a nice little quantity. Let's keep going.
Myers Freddie Myers said that he told the dude who brought Puff into their clique. He had to get rid of him. Now, every gangster in Harlem who was getting money back in that day wasn't none of them cab drivers. Puff father was a cab driver. He was a cab driver. Was he trying to use that in a situation where he was going, dropping off, selling his drugs?
Damn, Gene, what you hating on Puff Dad because he a cab driver? Damn, bro, that don't mean he wasn't no dope, boy. He was driving the cab and selling dope. He was probably dropping off packs. Gene be hating on the low, y'all. Gene be hating. He be throwing them little darts, them little slick little darts out there. Don't know what no drug dealers driving cab. Well, maybe he was one of the smart drug dealers. Said, let me get a job, let me get a cover up. That's what Master P did, and I'm about it. He was driving cabs and selling dope. Maybe Master P heard something about Puff Daddy up in New York and said, I'm gonna do that too. I don't know. Just saying, man. You be hating, Gene.
I don't know. But he was a cab driver. Well, that's a facade that he was using, something that he was using to try to fool people. I don't know. Freddie Myers didn't get into that. But what he did say was he told the guy that he had to get rid of Puff father. And he said the nigga who killed Puff father was the one that was carrying the casket, crying the hardest at the funeral.
Damn.
So when he tried to say that, he was the son of a hustler, okay.
Sound like he was a hustler. If you got hit, man, they done killed you carrying your casket and crying the loudest, that sound like a hustler. Stop hating, Gene. Puff Dad was a hustler. It is what it is. His daddy was a hustler. Why you side-eyeing and doing all that about that? If the man was hustling, he was hustling. It's cool. This boy Gene, hell, man. Damn, the killer was at the funeral carrying the casket. See, Puffy, all that Biggie not paying for Biggie funeral and all that. See how that stuff happened? You did that to Biggie and Pac. Look what happened to your dad. I'm telling you, that's backwards karma right there. That's karma in reverse right there. Let's keep going.
He and from what Tim Dog was saying about his mother and everything like that, his father was more so like a pimp than he was a drug dealer.
Pimps hustlers too.
Puff's father was murdered for trying to tell on Freddie Myers and their crew. He had wrote a handwritten statement. He did a handwritten statement and a tape statement, and the police sold it to the Freddie Myers now for $10,000.
So he actually told you seen that part where Lil Rod, he said that he will wake up sore.
When I heard Lil Rod
whoa, Art. How we go from talking about Puff Daddy to Lil Rod getting his ass tore up? What kind of transition is that, brother? What we doing here, brother? That wasn't in the title, brother. That wasn't in the title, Art. God damn, that's a hell of a transition right there, bro. You gotta prepare a nigga for some shit like that. We talking about Puffy Daddy. You wanna talk about Lil Rod asshole getting tore out the frame.
There was night that he woke up sore and he didn't want to talk about certain things. I knew he had been abused. My man, it had to be crazy. It was, let me just say something to you, bruh. For that young man to feel that way, for that young man to have to go through those experiences, Puff need his motherfucking ass whooped, bruh. For real. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in no way before he met Puff that Lil Rod was gay or had those type of experience. I may be wrong. But
Yeah, you can't say you don't believe in no way. I'm put like this. I feel for anybody that's been violated. Anybody, man, woman, I feel for you. Especially if you violated and when you asleep and it's like you kind of don't know if that happened to. That's horrible. That's terrible. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy for something like that to happen. But God dog, man, once you have an inkling that it did happen, nigga, I'ma kill you. You got to die. You have to die. You must die. And I also, at the same time, understand when you really you got a dream and you're so close to it that you don't want to mess it up. But that's where knowing God and having dignity and integrity comes into play. That's the whole point of integrity. Because when those moments come up, you got to have the integrity and the discipline. And the God has to be inside of you to say, no, fuck it. I just won't be famous. Fuck it. And I know it's difficult. When your asshole is on the line, that's when it gets simple. To me, that's how I feel. That's when it becomes very simple. My ass is on the line. Simple. I'm not going to be famous. And if I wake up and something crazy not happen and I feel a certain way, I'm killing you. And I'm going to tell the police why. I killed P. Diddy because I think he raped me. There has to be some type of thing for victims when you do something like that. Maybe I'll go to prison, but hey, it's worth it in my eyes. But like I said, I do feel sorry for him and for all the victims. Let's keep going.
for him to be talking like that on tape and hurting like that on the inside, because he could never. I know people gonna get mad at me, but this nigga gave up his manhood. You understand? Whether he's on drugs or not. You know what I'm saying? And it's got to be tearing him up on the inside, bro. Especially if he didn't want to. I feel for that boy. I feel for Quint, that dude Q from Day 26, because it sounds like he may have the same experience or something like that. I feel for those kids, man, that had to go through those experiences with this demonic sociopath that think he ain't did nothing wrong. And for the people out there that still want to rock with him, f y'all all and feed y'all beans, man. Because y'all just as worse as he is. Y'all want to give him a pass. Y'all want to give him a pass when he did all this crazy shit to people's lives.
Yeah, man. So that's that portion of the interview with Gene Deal. Man, it's just so unfortunate what happened, man, to all these people dealing with P. Diddy, man. So very unfortunate. My prayers go out to all of them, and I'm just very sorry that all that happened. And that's just terrible. If you are molesting, essaying, sexually assaulting somebody, period, is horrible. But you do it while they're asleep, that's some sick demonic stuff, man. For you to be able to take a man's manhood while he sleep, And it's just crazy, man. It's just sick, psychotic, sociopathic type tendencies, and it's freaking crazy, man. But my prayers go out to everybody, man, regardless of how it went down or how I may feel about it, or I may sit up here and say, if it were me, I did it, but it ain't me. It's somebody else. So, and I'm not them. So my prayers and my thoughts go all out to all the victims of P. Diddy and of all the other molesters and sick people out here that's doing stuff like that to people. All right. So yeah, man, that's about it for me for this one. And yeah, but Gene Deal, stop hating on Puff Dad, man. That man was a hustler, he was a pimp, he was a drug dealer, he was a baller, he was all that. Hustler, baller, gangster, cat pillar. Who Puff Dad be? Your neighborhood drug dealer. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. I'm Mike Geesh. Peace.